Aiming is one of the most important factors in Roblox Rivals, and knowing how difficult it is to track all those moving targets, it leaves people wondering how to actually achieve that aim, how to become as good as all those leaderboard players, and how to fix that match win rate. Well, today I will show you the best aiming tasks in Aimlabs that will help your rivals aim a ton, and I will explain exactly what each one does. I will also give you your perfect Aimlab sensitivity that will match the sensitivity you run in Rivals, and also a perfect routine. So what's Aimlabs? Aimlabs is a free aim training platform that helps players improve their core aiming skills for FPS and other shooting games. You can find it on Steam and mobile stores for free. Obviously, you can use other aim trainers like Kovacs, but Aimlabs will give you the best free aim training. Now that we know what Aimlabs is, let's go through all of the exercises that I personally use when I train in Aimlabs. Rivals is not my first shooter game. I don't use Aimlabs much because I got my aim from other big titles. There is a ranked mode inside of Aimlabs that could motivate you to stay consistent with your training, and all of the tasks I come across are actually really good for transferring that aim to shooters like Rivals. The rank mode is called Benchmarks. You can find it by going to play. There are 3 difficulties: entry, intermediate, and elite. You obviously want to start with entry. You will see 24 tasks split into 3 sections: tap, track, and switch. What you need the most here are tracking and switching tasks. Sure, tap practicing will help your micro flicking and micro adjustments a lot, but Rivals is heavily focused on tracking and switching from one target to another, or just being able to flick and track properly. If you're running a sniper or a crossbow on low camera zoom effect, you will obviously need to work on your micro adjustments since most of the shots you take are basically tapping heads. I will go through a couple of really good tasks that I personally enjoy the most, and you will notice all the similarities. Honestly, you could run some playlists, there are many of them in this game, but I stick with benchmarks, which can give you equal results. So let me walk you through the tasks. Before we begin with tracking, you will need to match your Aimlab sensitivity with your Roblox Rivals sensitivity. After testing and consulting with GPT, I made an accurate converter. Rival sensitivity is actually a mix of 2 values, your Roblox sense and Rival sense. For example, if my Rival sense is 0.5, adjusting my Roblox sense will still affect it. To calculate your Aimlab sense, just multiply your Roblox sense by your Rival sense, then divide that number by 0.1. Simple math, you can use a calculator as well. My Roblox sense is 0.2 and Rival sense is 0.5. Just multiply those and you get 0.1. Then divide by 0.1, which equals to 1. So in Aimlabs, I set my sensitivity to 1 with the game profile set to Aimlab. For FOV, it's not exact, but I feel like around 80 to 90 in Aimlabs matches around 100 in Rivals. Test it and see what feels best. We will start with tracking. There are 8 tracking tasks inside of benchmarks, each having a subcategory that obviously delivers a different type of tracking practice. You will master tracking precision, reactiveness, control, and go through strafing exercises that will help you a lot in Rivals. Bounce track is a precise tracking exercise. It focuses on a small circular target that bounces up and down and slowly switches sides of movement. This task is perfect for working on both vertical and horizontal tracking, especially vertical one. This scenario replicates those players who do grenade jumping, jump pad, ramp jumps, or all those jumps that make them fly in a similar way. Laser track is also a precise exercise, and it focuses on a slower moving target that's mainly about horizontal tracking. There are vertical movements as well, but not as much. This is a simple tracking task, but that should help you properly track moving targets inside of Rivals. Now this next tracking task is called Droid Track. It's a reactive tracking exercise, and it's by far one of my most favorite tasks. The target strafes left and right like your enemy would do in an actual game of Rivals, but instead of doing only tracking, this target forces you to predict when it's going to move to a different side, or when it's going to just run to one side without even strafing. This task helps you master predicting enemy movements while still properly tracking them. 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Snitch Track is another reactive tracking task, and it has way faster sudden movements compared to any other task so far. It goes in every direction and makes you react not just left and right, but up and down as well. Super useful useful for building reflexes and reaction time, just like droid track. Hover track is like laser track but a bit faster, and it's also kind of a reactive exercise, just slower. It does sudden direction changes, which forces you to make extra adjustments while tracking the target. Rave track is like the first task. It's a bouncing target that you mostly need to track vertically. The thing with this task is the target doesn't go in one line. It also goes further away from you and closer to you as well. So imagine your rival's opponent does some really nice jump strafes, but instead of doing left and right, they combine it with backwards movement or they close in towards you. This helps you build that control over the enemy movement no matter how far or close they are. And the last two are basically for strafing. Dual track is a perfect example of what a strafing 1v1 would look like in Rivals, without jumping of course. So your character will automatically strafe while the target will also be strafing. This way you have to make mouse adjustments in order to stay on the target while moving left and right. This helps you tracking while strafing a ton. Same goes for Skytrack. Both of you are basically flying up and down, left and right. This builds every possible scenario you can have in a fight while still consistently moving and fighting a moving target. You will also learn how movement aiming works by doing these two tasks. Target switching is as important as tracking itself. It's basically switching from one target to another while still doing the tracking movements. We won't cover the tap practices today, but switching practices are a combination of tap and tracking together. Tap exercises help you with flicking from one target to another constantly, both smaller and bigger targets, while tracking helps you finish the targets or kills by keeping your crosshair on them. When it comes to switching, you will master the speed of it, transition, stability, and acquisition. Slide switch are small moving targets that move only horizontally, which means left and right, and you need to switch or flick from one to another and take their HP down. Taking their HP down will require you to move your mouse with the target, so without the tracking exercises, you will struggle in switching exercises. Curve switch displays idle targets. These won't be moving at all, but they will still be spread around the map for you to do bigger mouse movements or flicks. Once you flick to a target, you need to take its HP down by holding your fire button. Simple as that. Back to moving targets, jump switch provides targets in a smaller box that change their direction once they hit each side of the box. You need to quickly switch from one target to another while also tracking their movement. Watch out because their HP is regaining, so if you don't finish the target, it will gain all that HP back. Jolt switch is similar to curve switch, but instead of the targets being idle, they're moving slightly in every single direction, almost circular movement. So if you flick from one target to another, it won't be as easy to take them down. You will pretty much have some reactive training as well. Gentle switch works the same, but with much smaller targets since they're really far away from you. The higher the FOV, the harder it will be, obviously. It's the exact same task, just with much smaller targets. Skate switch is one of my most favorite tasks. The strafe tracking we used in tracking exercises, we will implement here as well. Targets move left and right, jumping every now and then, which forces you to predict when they're going to change direction or jump up. As soon as you kill the target, you switch to another one and do the exact same thing. Quick switch are horizontal moving targets that move a bit faster. They force you to quickly switch from one to another since destroying them is far faster compared to other switching tasks. And lastly, penta switch. Just like that one task where targets are boxed and change directions when hitting the sides, penta switch delivers faster and smaller targets, which will also help you a ton and quicker mouse movements. Obviously, the last two tasks are building upon the earlier practice tasks, but as you can see, each one delivers a different and unique style that will affect each scenario you run into in Rivals. If I had to create a routine from this, I would play at least 30 to 60 minutes daily. I would recommend completing all 24 benchmark challenges at least once. You will eventually see the improvement, and once you reach platinum on every task in the easy level, just move to intermediate and then eventually elite as well. I personally haven't played elite yet. I did some intermediate here and there and ranked top 0.5% on the leaderboards, which is honestly nice. It does motivate you to train more. It's important to know that you can't build your aim from zero overnight. It takes a lot of time and a lot of consistency. If you practice in aim trainers and play the game, you will eventually master aiming. You will eventually become as good as everyone else. Don't beat yourself up if you can't out-aim someone. You never know how much experience they might have. Just focus on yourself, keep practicing, and if you need the best possible settings to maximize your performance and really lock in, click on the video on the screen right now. I will see you in the next Rivals video.